Well, the incense burner is working. It's like barely hot enough. Again, once it warms up to like 70 degrees or something, but it's working great. Actually, I would probably turn it up too high, be impatient. So it's kind of like at the level that I need it for the incense so it doesn't burn. So I just tried to take out the microphone. Yeah, it'd have been nice to be this uncramped 5 years ago when I was trying to get there. And it's a reason to move the deep state away. Again, they're going to point to the mental illness of their victim. It's a real time thing. And that cramping is part of causing it. They know. They knew. They uncramp me, and then I return to normal. But again, God used it. God got the increase of you all decreasing upon the planet. It's never been more of a mess in probably 30, 40 years. 100%. I mean, people are blinded. I just watch the administration every day going, what the hell are you doing? You set yourselves up. I mean, somebody's setting them up. But I mean, why aren't you thinking about the future of all that? Because you can't see, right? That's what you did to me. But again, remember, the impetus is always metaphysical. But again, they're using psychological and physical activity to manipulate that metaphysical. There's no way you can't see till you can see. Remember that? Everything I've ever said is true. No, I didn't set my life into this motion. You all did, and that's obvious. They know. They watch people every day, and they watch when they do this to them. They laugh. We got him. Let's go out. Party. Life. Wonderful. Drink. Party. Church. No, I go to church. I don't drink. I'm a holy one. That's what they do. There's no way for me to get back to massage. I'd already been there sooner. If I could have got sooner. So again, took a lot of. Again, it may not be the Trump administration. I'm not going to give the credit to them unless there is something there. I mean, it's just the Republicans went back into power. Well, I'm a Republican. Rather high-ranking one, actually. I don't find MAGA to be all that Republican, really. But again, if that's what a Republican is, then fine. Again, I'm not against the president and his administration, but I'm not here to lie. I told you that. Yeah, I tell you that every year, no matter who's president. Although, again, I don't say everything like this. Oh, he's saying everything. Right. I could say a lot more than I have. No, I probably would have healed and been able to walk off at least, for a while to get my life back in order, and then go in, get the surgery when I, at leisure. Right. Mm-hmm. No, staying cramped up really isn't an option. I just couldn't figure out how to do it, and I was trying to get to the massage therapist, and by the time it's like slowly degrading, and your ability to conceptualize it, and then eventually it gets you because it's just way too tight, and you can't even think of it. At a certain point, I was like, my head's being pulled into my right shoulder. Still a little tight over there. Nah, it's not very promising for the lower lumbar right now. I'm sure if I had stayed in massage therapy and hadn't been psyoped out of it and all that, I'm sure I'd be doing much better. Because actually, that's one of the reasons I left Santa Fe was to go get massage. I remember standing there after I cleaned out my room, and something was pointing to my legs being, a little bit stiff. And I said, like a spirit. And I said, I know, but I got to get to the other side to get the massage. And I eventually did, but I don't even think it was the right massage. It wasn't aggressive enough. I mean, it was keeping me weller than I did happen. But no, all you have to do is when I was in Oklahoma, if they were pulled off me and weren't allowed to stalk me, I would have got to that massage in my apartment. They would have come in, they would have massaged me, and I would have either been at this point or some other point where I would have been able to, figure out what to do. And at that point, a lot less loss a few years earlier. Like, they were able to block it here for 2 years. Now, I don't know where this is going to be because I still have, what happens is I have cramping at the top, and that's like cramping a nerve, and that kind of sends reverberations down. Right? So again, it's just horrid that this wasn't the state that I could get to 5 years ago. I mean, 4 years ago, they knew this. There's other people. Come on. They're not there to do anything good. They're not there to take out the pedophile. They're not there to take out the sex criminal. They're not there to take out the drug dealer. They are all of those things. Yeah, you should just let me live my life. Been a lot easier that way. Again, don't point to me going after you. You're the ones that are in my life. You're the ones that are maneuvering around to cause somebody to speak out and then say, oh, they were speaking out the whole time. See, we told you. It's a scam, a filthy, satanic, devilish scam, a criminal scam. Well, I don't know how it's going to heal or not heal, but again, being cramped up for 4 years probably killed any hope. Right. And that's what their plan was. Their entire plan. To make it go long enough to cause permanent damage. They can tell how I act when I go on the massage. I don't act that way. Oh, so get rid of massage. He goes to the gym. He doesn't act that way. Now get rid of gym. And again, there's metaphysic to it. When I was in Santa Fe, and again, there's a psyop to it too. The rest smells great. I'm all the way over here. The wind just wafted my incense by. It's the one that Hashem told me to make. I think this is the one. Frankincense, myrrh, and spikenard. I think that's the one. But it may have actually been that one in Isaiah. They call it, nowadays they call it a weird name because it's red. What's it? Blood something. I forget what. It's a reed. It's a reed that grows near the water, I think. No, I should have been able to do this 5 years ago, and I'd probably still be in Texas. Or I mean, we got surgery or something, and leave my stuff in storage. That's some good stuff. It just needs to be like 10, 15 degrees warmer, and then it would burn a lot better. No, it's great. Well, there's 3 letters. I can't even remember it. There's 3 letters that it spells something. First 3 letters of that in Hebrew spells something. Could be Shaddai. I can't remember. No, I have to get the trigger point shot still. I got to get massage. But the point was, I don't think they were going to, the system wasn't going to allow me into surgery until I was released. Like my body was released. Because again, the surgeons don't want you into surgery if you can be released until you're released. You understand? So I got a lot of will of certain organizations. That's one of the things that I identified, and I don't know if you all know that. Just work on getting the person's muscles released before surgery and before you evaluate surgery. Like you have to see, we're missing a person. they're not. It's not a physical therapist. And again, there's pain management, all this. My pain management, it goes beyond up and yeah. How you doing? Up and beyond the call of duty. I mean, he's really. I mean, he's what they should all be. Right? But again, he might get himself in trouble by speaking so much. Again, doctors are very scared of what they tell patients. Right? But he's a professional. He took his Hippocratic oath, and it's not a hypocritical oath. Those words are very close on purpose. No, it's sad. What can you say? 5 years. Torture him, torture him, torture him. Juden. No, I could have been like this the whole time. I just stay away from it. I get the massage. I stay in massage. I get pain management whenever I need it. Probably wouldn't even need it for a while. Right. So what I actually needed in Oklahoma before I left was better massage and pain management to release my back. It already tightened up. I remember driving to Texas and going, my right cheek is like swollen on my butt. No, when it releases on the right, they both become the same size. Yeah, COVID is part of it, but that's part of the metaphysics. Again, if I was in my own house that I was trying to purchase years before, it'd been a whole different story. So if they hadn't interfered in that, well, I'm stuck in an extended stay room instead of my own clean house. Right? I was stuck in extended stay. It was probably filthy and just full of mold. Right? Whereas if I had been in my own house, I could upgrade it and all that, and keep it clean and have it inspected and all that. Again, if they don't let your life settle down, there's very little that you can do. They go because they said, well, when you settle down, like when I settle down. How do you settle down when you all do that? Well, that's the point. Well, there is no point. It's just a scam. Thing just said, they stopped you from eating this morning. Remember, you're supposed to take your medicine and then eat. I mean, they know everything I Googled, like medicine, eat. So they will against it. Oh, I'd be fine. I'm sure if I stayed in massage, I'd be fine right now. I'd probably still live in Santa Fe. I'd still be helping their homeless people. Maybe even more so. Probably be in a religious society by now. Right, Shabbat almost got to me, but I think the deep state got to them. What happened is Shabbat took my email. He never sent me an email. And then like I think when I left Santa Fe, I got an email. Like, the deep state was blocking it or something. Or covered, whatever they call it. You know why I call it Shabbat? Because that means something in Sikhism. Hashem's big on that, like tying things together like that. It can drive you crazy why does it drive you crazy? Because the deep state uses it to drive you crazy. You see? Now, I'd have been with a woman and it'd been over with. Right. That's all I need to do is find it. Well, because what I forget, she could remember. And then same thing for her. Then you're not totally isolated. Again, if you find the wrong woman. But I woke up, so I knew how to get the relationships forward and keep them somewhat healed. Not perfect, but I did sleep like 8 hours last night. Wow, the fragrance of that incense is everywhere. Frankincense, myrrh, and spikenard. Yeah, I should never have been in my life at all. I got those cords that are dangling. They're making noise. Right, set. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the end result of this is going to be because it's just releasing and starting to heal. But I noticed that I'm actually better than released than I ever was. Even when I left like Naples, I think I can't even remember what I was like in the massage therapy. I don't know how released or not released I was. I imagine I had to be released, right? They even probably have copies of my MRI. That's how corrupt they are. I got to take my blood pressure. But they also stopped me from drinking, not drinking the hydration mix. So I willed against that. No doubt. So, like I said, they were denying me health care. So it's like no good deed goes unpunished. I'm the guy that tries to figure out how to get everybody health care and make it affordable, right? And keep people that desire to keep their own private insurance keep their own private insurance. No good deed goes unpunished. Yet the buffoons that are screwing it all up and trying to use it, for friction against one another, they're out there millionaires, right? Billionaires. I'm sorry. So what I didn't, the guy's like, I can get you these, like, I was trying to figure out what the deal was with the Firestone tires. I said, I hope that he honors the price he told me, Well, I look around the internet, look at Firestone. It's like they're offering some deals from Firestone. He's not Firestone, but I'm sure he's getting some sort of discount, or at least I think he is. Probably contacted people that sell their tires, right? Well, it's a rebate, but sometimes they'll give a seller the rebate discount instead of the customer. So if he sells, like they want their name brand out there. So Firestone wants the brand out there. He sells a Firestone. They give him $50, and then he extends that to me because the price for similar tires from Firestone was $50 more, and then I get the $50 rebate. He gave me like a $50 deal. Like, well, how I get you out? So the cheapy tires were $230 out the door, or $230 something, and it's like $235, and the Firestone good tires are $269 out the door, and he didn't have the cheapy ones. He's actually it's really a good deal. But again, they may not be extending that. I don't know. But maybe he knows to sell those tires, he needs to drop them because, I don't know, because Firestone's offering something. No, it's just so scary. 5 years ago, I could have been in this state of relax, probably even more. I mean, I haven't even got my trigger point. I don't think it's the massage because it cramped right back up again. Right. Right. Well, it's very scary that people had the right to do this to me. Again, I'm with God, and it sucks really bad. But you have to be on the planet to make these changes for some reason. So I'm on the planet, but I wasn't supposed to be here in a physical body. No, I've said that the planet should not exist. Why? You think the good Lord wants an antelope eaten by a lion? No. Like I said in vegetarianism, it's not real because you're really not the physical body. You're a spiritual entity. Yeah, I got to get that replaced. Yeah, I got to return something to Home Depot, but I'm not going on that tire. Looks like it might be losing air already. Space saver. I tested it and I drove over to my garage. I was able to clean my van a little bit over the last almost 24 hours. What time is it? It's 12. Oh, it's very scary that I had that happen to me. It wasn't just 4 years, 5 years. I mean, I've been doing this for a long time. Otherwise, my life would have been taken care of and well. Again, when I went in, when I was going to go into church, that was it. I mean, that was going to be my everyday. Have sex with people. I don't have sex with adults. Let be kids. The only reason I ever had sex with anybody besides my wife is because of the deep state. They whacked my head over it. Right. And I was trying to get to a woman the way the Bible tells you to, right, to fix all your sexual needs. Right. That's really the secret in the Bible. That's what Paul says. And again, Jews maybe never spoke it openly before. Actually, it's probably somewhere. I imagine they probably have, because you'll find similar things that the Christians have that the Jews. I don't know if it. I don't know what came first, but right. Right. It says to cause fornication to flee, get married. Right. But see, there's other things that say you don't focus that hard on somebody else's situation. Again, I believe in that it's not my job to judge the person. Well, yeah, rebuking only works when it works. Do you understand that part? If it does the reverse, then there's no reason to do it then. The last 4 years makes absolutely no sense, but then again, the last 25 years makes no sense. I mean, they know how to destroy a life and how to make somebody sick as soon as they can. I mean, that's why doctors are looking at me like I'm nuts. Well, because I'm in so much pain, but I'm not your average. It's way worse than the average person that goes in and goes, "Oh, my back hurts." Right? My whole body was cramped up. The last doctor I went to was the over. I needed to find somebody else but him. And the reality is, if I'd have got, most likely, I mean, nothing wrong with him, but it was a poor fit. Can I say that? Right. What I said to my doctor, sometimes it's the luck of the draw. Right. I said, I wish I'd have been with you. I mean, Jesus, I'd have been free within months. Never would have bought a trailer. Right. And then I go to Colorado and they're destroying me. Now, one of the things they were doing in Naples, or not Naples, in Santa Fe was they wanted me to go with a male massage therapist because they were going to do a setup, the same setup. But say I was trying to have sex with the male massage therapist. Say I'm gay. I mean, they're like obsessed with me being gay. And the only thing I can think of is Jay. That I supposedly molested Jay or some shit. And then of course, they got Jay killed. They're sending him back to Iraq. Sir. I mean, that's how sick they are. Thank you, Larry. No, I could have been well the whole time, I'm sure, but I have no idea what they think they're doing. I was confused. I'll tell you that. I was thoroughly confused as to what was happening. Well, one of the things I say, you lose your self-image. I mean, physically too. They know what they're doing. They're bound for hell, man. I know you say, well, they didn't physically shoot somebody, and so theoretically, if somebody physically shoots somebody and kills them, they can go to heaven. No, they're beyond that. They're a devil. Okay, they're a devil. They're not just witches. Okay, that's the scam for this planet. Oh, they're just witches. They're just a witch. They're devils. Every last one of them is an independent devil. How you doing? Right. I can still smell that fragrance. I hate the word smell because smell usually means it stinks. No, I mixed up. I had some really fragrant spike nard, some nice frankincense, and nice myrrh. It's wafting. No, I could have been healthy, no doubt. All it takes is a little bit of money, and somebody comes along and does it. There's nothing to do with the victim. No, the victim didn't piss somebody off. The whole thing is a psyop. Don't you understand it, all of you? To get somebody to speak out is a psyop. You can't. I mean, I didn't speak out in the beginning. It took a long, long time and a lot of torture. Thank you, Larry. Thanks, Larry. So you all were betrayed by the operators. They're playing their own game, making people merchandise in the marketplace. No, I got no idea how my body's going to heal, but a little questionable as to whether this can heal past, surgery. I guarantee, I almost guarantee, I can't guarantee, but 4 or 5 years I'd have healed past surgery. Right. Jesus Christ. Yeah, they attack, push you out of one place, put you in the next. You have their operators there making millions of dollars, making sure drugs flow into this country, making sure prostitution is available for the bosses. Sure. Most likely, Prince Philip had sex with. Yeah, I'm the message like the people that are involved in it should want because it's the real message. Like he probably most likely had sex. I mean, everybody has pretty much come to that conclusion, right? But the weird part is I've been in with Fergie. Like I never really paid attention to the royal family. Always had it. So right. Actually, inside thing. But the thing is, you all were set up. I'm not condoning. And again, they try to say it's Messiah. They try to say it's this. No, okay. Of whatever nation. What it did, probably what happened is my left side released, but my right side didn't. So that caused more trouble. Right. And then my left leg was so dead. Right. Because essentially it was picking up on the right side of the lumbar and pushing down on the left. That was seen in MRIs. Now, see, who do we need? Somebody doesn't exist. Right. You need that. You need doctors that their whole focus is the relationship of all of it. Again, a rehabilitation doctor is probably not a bad guy to go to. But I don't think he had a clue. The question he should have asked was, when they looked at the MRI, was why was it tilted that way? If somebody's experienced enough, has the right training, of course, I could have developed all of that. It might be actually right now inside. He would say maybe the muscles on the right side are doing something, or the left side aren't doing something, or maybe both. Thank you, Larry. That's like AI. They have an AI system that harasses their victims. Now, they might tell you that they're not part of it. Or how am I part of that? Well, they'll do what it wants, that system. So they get made. They become made men and made women. No, when it releases, when it releases the steroid and like magnesium oil, it's still damaged muscle. Right? It takes a while to heal, strengthen. It's almost too released. But what I would have wished is if we could have got to this 5 years ago, boy, it's been amazing. And I imagine we got to this over 10 years ago, or about 10 years ago, while I was going to massage in Santa Fe. Remember, potatoes are an anti-inflammatory. Well, I still got to hit it with magnesium oil because I haven't at the trigger point. So, it's going to kind of just be lax muscle to a certain degree. It's not going to be. But I didn't really cramp up too much last night. Slept a little bit on my side, but like forward. So the whole stomach thing is coming from the cramps, I think, or the majority of it. The idea that some legitimate case because they're allowed to do this to me is bullshit. They just kill people. They're sick. I believe some of it is the government employee says, we don't want them around. They start years before anything's triggered. Like when your muscles released, they're too loose. Right. So what's going to happen is eventually you'll get your muscles pressed out with massage after you get the steroid. A lot of people don't go to that level, but and then they'll come back together, hopefully healthy. But it's just pretty bad. I mean, not as bad as I've seen it. Right. But again, there was no reason that this was done to me. I had a physical disability, and it was known. Got my yarmulke on. That's my new headgear. Got my Ya shirt. They're trying to say it's a kufi. Try to say it to everybody, that's a kufi. It's a kufi. It's a kufi. It's a kufi. Okay. Well, what I think happened is when I moved here, I was real active, trying to get out of that apartment, and it probably loosened me a little bit. Right, then they started harassing again. Right. So it is what it is. But boy, this weather's much nicer. How long have I been online? I'm just keeping my exercise going. Well, some of it is comprised of people that killed Luna. They're lunatics. They make money doing that. So they just put me on the list, and I'm next. Well, really, if I was awake, I mean, you have to say, well, at which point? Awake from childhood, I'd have been richer than Elon Musk, but actually poor because I wouldn't hold on to that kind of money. It's just a sign of greed. Whether he's a good person or not, you make that decision. But obviously, if you have that much money, then you're probably pretty greedy. At least Bezos tries to do some sort of charity with it, right? And now that we're on a topic, remember, you're all violating law. Now, where it goes, I can't tell you. You're not allowed to say that you're firing DEI hires because you're saying you're firing somebody because they were hired because they were a minority, I guess we could use the word people of color, people of LGBTQ, women, right? Right. You don't have that information. You don't have that information, and you will not have that information to put into evidence. Because at the moment of their firing, you did not have any information as to them being a DEI hire. No factual information. You just knew they were what? A person of color? A woman? A gay person? That's really what you're saying. You're all being set up. You found comfort in saying DEI instead of the N word or the F word. Right. But it still means the same thing. There's no way out of it. You've already done it, all of you. Now, Trump's trying to protect himself. Well, as long as they're looking at the best qualified people. But your administration doesn't know whether they're qualified or not. They're just a DEI hire. Why? Because of their color, their skin, or they're gay, or they're a woman. I mean, you've already stepped on it all. I tried to warn you. I tried to warn all of you. Thank you, Larry. So I don't know where Bannon really is. I haven't looked at his stuff in a while, but he has a point. It's kind of like it's like apartheid. And you go, well, it's not because they're spending too much money on this liberal stuff. No, they shouldn't have been allowed to be in my life, period. Well, with muscle cramps, that muscle is painful when it releases. So when it recramps, right, you have to beat that cycle. And I knew that. I even said it online. It's such a shame because I'd have stayed well for my life, most likely. There's no way I'd be in this condition at 60. All right. What time is it? Got a tire appointment today. So it'd take an hour to do it. An hour. Take an hour. You're about a half hour. Put 2 tires on. It bites because it's a rear tire, and those had a lot of tread left. But again, I don't think I'm keeping this more than a year. But who knows? Yeah, it's got treads still on the front. It's just been so nice. Like, I'd have been so happy, praising everything, if I could have got this released 4 or 5 years ago, even if I needed surgery. Right. I still would have spoke about the massage, being blocked, but added insult to injury, another 5 years of harassment. I can't wait to get those trigger point shots because now I can go back to massage, a couple of days, 2 days later, right? And they can try to see if they can get it to work without the cramping. Right, like there's different levels of cramping. My arms are free now and my shoulders, where before that wasn't happening. That was even cramped up. So my back the trapezius is still cramped. Now the question is, if they release the trapezius, will I be like having a lot of difficulty walking or not? So again, once they release the trapezius, that could actually make it so I could, kind of walk, but we don't know. It could be interfering with the signal going to the legs. See, I'm not stupid, right? I don't know. They could have drugged me. There's no doubt. Or they drugged me with something to keep me cramped up. Right. Again, the psychology will do that also. What I think is going to happen, it'll release. I'll feel better, but my legs will, be right. So I have to go get the surgery. They're trying to fear me of it again. Again, I had no support really, none at all. Not even the support that regular people have. Well, that's because you're the criminal. It's like Jesus was a criminal, right? Again, operated Jesus a few years. I've been under this thing since the 90s. Same thing. It's the same thing as Jesus. That's why Jesus went in the temple and went, F you! In whatever words he used. I'm trying to figure out if this guy's home that I gave the guitar to at a certain point, because I have a cable for him if he needs it. If he sold it, that's fine too. I think this is his car. All right. Let me see if he's home. I'll be back in a second. Stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.